Skeleton Facts compilation. Volume 1. Intro from Skeletor by Isaak Wells. I got no idea what I'm gonna be looking at here. I got no idea. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. I got no idea. We're gonna look at this. It's gonna be horrible, isn't it? It's most certainly gonna be horrible. It always was horrible. He's gonna attempt to rot our brains finally. 6-7, I hate you.
Greetings, fools and boobs alike. I demand that you enjoy the
Fools and boobs! Oops.
these official Disturbing Facts Skeletor memes. Prepare to attack that like and subscribe button for more. Remember, men see women's buttholes way more than women see men's buttholes. Until we meet.
I mean, that's... Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, yeah. He's not lying. He's not lying. That is true.
Meet again. Remember, saying someone was full of life before they died is stating the obvious.
I'm gonna recite these, am I not? My vid next after this? Sure, I guess. I have so many videos to go through, chill.
Until we meet again! Remember, when a porn star is getting undressed, she is getting dressed for work.
I hate this. I'm beginning to hate this already. I'm starting to hate this already.
Until we meet again! Remember, if you are what you eat, then only cannibals can be humans.
Oh, that's where you got this from. GT, really? Yeah, that's...
Until we meet again! Remember, sex dolls must have posed the greatest threat to humans in Toy Story due to their size.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Are sex dolls affected by the Toy Story stuff? That makes the toys come to life? Hold up, wait a minute. But were they really a threat? They were not really a threat. That's so crazy though.
Until we meet again! Remember, your mom is a spawn point. Until we meet again! Remember, it's impossible to accuse someone of being judgmental without being judgmental. Until we meet again! Remember, everyone in the Matrix is technically a virgin.
Yeah, that makes sense. They would be, I would think. Yeah, that's horrible. We'll be pouring holy water on my laptop, so it would seem.
Until we meet again! Remember, a single blue whale ejaculation has enough protein for a human for a year.
But why? As a toy soldier would easily deflate them. Probably. But why? Why do people even know this? Yo, guys. New source of protein. Whale jizz. Peak.
Until we meet again! Remember, 2050 is closer than 1990. Until we meet again! Remember, you can't move your penis without closing your butthole. Until...
I did not try that out, and I will not. Stay away from me, mortal. That's stupid. Who researched that shit? Why? I mean, if that's enough protein, that's enough protein, guys. Wait. Does that mean a whale load could just kill you?
We meet again! Remember, buying a fire extinguisher is something that you hope is a waste of money. Until we meet again! Remember, anyone who has seen your butthole on more than 3 separate occasions is not a stranger.
Obviously. Well, keep it like a 3 times one night stand with the same person, I guess. But then it's not a one night stand. That's just a situationship. Hold up, wait a minute.
Until we meet again! Remember, it's okay to state that you can't function until you've had your morning coffee, but less okay if it's alcohol. Until we meet again! Remember, science is...
I guess that was for me then, because I love coffee. I drown in coffee.
Magic with receipts. Until we meet again! Remember, there's probably less on Thanksgiving than any other holiday. Until...
Why specifically Thanksgiving? Wouldn't people get stuffed a lot anyways? Yes, and people use it in food and drink. Ugh.
We meet again! Remember, work emails are turn-based combat. Until we meet again! Remember!
It's really nothing special. Technically, life is just a huge MMORPG. The problem is, the loot's dog shit, and you're gonna die and you can't respawn. Not gonna lie, this is kind of annoying. Remember, until we meet again. It's really obnoxious, yeah. That works, I doubt that. And the turkeys. Because everyone is together, because well, they didn't account for Alabama, right? It's implying they're doing it to the turkey more. See, there's always family fun, right? Family monopoly. Always forget that. You forget that. Guys, you forget that.
Most people who are hanged to death get a death boner. Until we meet again! Remember, if the multiverse exists, then there is no such thing as fiction. Until we meet again!
You're telling me that somewhere out there there's fucking Goku? Nah, there can't be there can be no multiverse, because that would be the reason it would collapse. Remember, you was in someone's balls for years. Well, kinda not. Kinda not, because the sperm doesn't even survive this long, buddy.
Remember, the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubed.
I've already used that one. That one's old.
Until we meet again! Remember, a clitoris is technically a micropenis. Until we meet again!
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm too virgin for this. I wouldn't know. Probably won't even find it, to be honest.
Remember, there are two types of people in this world. Avoid both of them. Until we meet again! Remember, love comes from your mind while boners come from your heart. Until we meet again! Remember, silly putty implies the existence...
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. So, in other words, marry the girl you get hard for. Simple. Well, Pokin Earth 3 is literally a volcano owner who puts protesters to work. Peak.
of serious putty. Until we meet again! Remember, the real gauge of friendship is how clean your house has to be before they can come over. Until we meet again! Remember, everyone has a different version of you in their mind.
That is probably very likely, because, listen, we all act different towards specific people, so this might make sense. Met him once, seemed pretty cool. Actually, they were all fuck ice, so he was like, alright then, love lava. Hey, I mean, we're already at the time where I'm thinking, like, well, I'm gonna create my huge harem, and I'm gonna send the men into the coal mines, and the women are all mine. We already talked about this, it's fine. What was the one VTuber who hates men and glazes women? How many? There are many. That doesn't narrow it down, dear. Also, hi, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. That doesn't narrow it down. I forgot what his name was. Doesn't matter.
Until we meet again! Remember, dinosaur is traditionally paired with white wine. Until we meet again! Remember, pollination is technically a threesome. Until we meet again! Remember, somewhere someone in the world has nipples that are compatible with Lego bricks.
Why? 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 The one who was in the controversy recently? I forgot who it was. I know what you mean, but I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was. Because he's that irrelevant. Rot. Someone end this. Yeah, just put a gun to GT's head at this point.
Until we meet again! Remember, Since everybody has a mouth and butthole, rim jobs are the most neutral form of sex.
Why? 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 Just why? Hey, they could build a Lego city on it. Tyrio. Yeah, that could be, yeah.
Until we meet again, remember, surgery could be described as stabbing someone to life.
I mean, kinda, but they're not really stabbing, right? Right? Not really. They're not violently, right? One is like violently penetrating somebody's body with something, with a knife or something sharp, right? So not really.
Until we meet again, remember, a driver's license can be used to buy things that impair your driving. Until we meet again, remember, Santa Claus knows exactly where all the evil people are in the world, but doesn't do anything about it. Until we meet again.
Well, he doesn't technically give them presents, so it's all fine. But then again, people who think Santa Claus is real also believe that love is real. Funny.
Again. Remember, for most of human history, no one looked up at the clouds and saw the shape of a dinosaur. Until we meet again. Remember, because the platypus both lays eggs and produces milk, it is one of the few animals that can make its own custard.
That's diabolical. Harry the platypus.
Until we meet again. Remember, there's more blood in an erect human penis than a whole rabbit.
Is that true, buddy? Is that true? What do you say about this? Don't mind him. He's just cleaning himself. The rabbit that looks like the Austrian painter. Hey, Santa Claus was a real man. He actually murdered 4 people too. It even ate one of them. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Until we meet again. Remember, there is no greater betrayal than when a fart isn't a fart. Until we meet again. Remember, you're only late if you do show up. Until we meet again. Remember, to not expose his identity, Batman is either driving the Batmobile uninsured or is committing insurance fraud.
I mean, kinda. That's not wrong. I guess it's not wrong.
Until we meet again. Remember, your password has probably locked you out more than it has locked other people out. Until we meet again. Remember.
I love forgetting passwords. I love it. I love doing it. I do it all the time. I love forgetting passwords. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta reset this now because I need it. Huh.
Remember, all ghosts must be prudes since they never show up in porn. Until we meet again. Remember, if you were born before 1990, you are now older than Marv was in Home Alone. Until we meet again. Remember, real friends don't get offended when you insult them. They smile and call you something more offensive.
Yes! Yes! That's true. That's true. That's true. There's no better friend group than a friend group who's incredibly racist with each other. Right? People from the Balkans, they can be friends, but they're also incredibly racist. It works. It works. My roomie thought, oh my god, forget so often. I forget so often. Yeah, for me, I forget them constantly. Like, I'm like, oh, I need this account now. Hold up, wait a minute. What's the password for that? I do not remember. Gone. Need to redo it.
Until we meet again. Remember, a military salute is a state-sanctioned gang sign. Until we meet again. Remember, our 2 most standard ice cream flavors are beans. Until we meet again.
Beans? Wait. I guess.
Again. Remember, when you're a kid, you don't realize that you're also watching your mom and dad grow up. Until we meet again.
Not really, unless you'd have like a teen mom and a teen father. Like, they're not growing up anymore, right? They're like just getting older. They're only adults in most cases.
Again. Remember, your belly button is your old mouth. Until we meet again. Remember, One of the first sneak previews ever was the number 5 appearing in the number 4 in Roman numerals. Until we meet again! Remember, the Grinch never really hated Christmas. He hated people, which is fair.
I mean, I guess that's true in a sense.
Until we meet again! Remember, the closest person standing in front of you is also the farthest person standing behind you. Until we meet again! Remember!
Yeah, technically, right? Technically, but also no. Depends.
People with autism have a different operating system in their brains. Until we meet again! Remember, the average person on Earth is Asian. Until we meet again!
That's true. Yeah, that population-wise, that is true, yeah.
Remember, every phone is foldable at least once. Until we meet again! Remember, Mary Poppins is the same species as Pennywise, except she feeds off of children's joy instead of their fear.
I guess, but it's not really canonically confirmed now, is it? That's not really canonically confirmed. So, how does that make sense?
Until we meet again! Remember, you can't angrily roll up an automatic window.
Because it's automatic. You can't roll up an automatic window in general because it's automatic. It is literally in the name. It is automatic. This one's dumb. This one's stupid. This one is definitely stupid.
Until we meet again! Remember, you don't have a skeleton inside of you, you're a brain. You're inside of a skeleton. You're piloting a bone mech that's made of meat armor.
I mean, that's technically kind of cool if you put it if he puts it that way. Technically, that's kind of true. But the problem is that in order to have a proper mech, right, you'd at least have to not experience pain when being damaged. But that doesn't apply here, right? We're still experiencing pain, so it's not really a mech now, is it?
Until we meet again! Remember, Gucci's target audience is the person who can't afford Gucci. Until we meet again! Remember, cardboard is diet wood. Until we meet again! Remember, any country that runs on Dunkin' is sure to have diabetes. Until we meet again! Remember, 100% of the people who don't understand the difference between causation and correlation will die.
Anyways, yeah, that was enough. That was horrible. Never again. I don't know, Gundam pilots experience pain. Yeah, but others don't, so it really depends. Yeah. I just have an idea. Yeah, GT, I'm putting you down like a dog. Sorry. It must happen. You're never recommending something again. Horrible. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.